Daryl Ruiter, Browns beat reporter, his thoughts on a potential coaching change.
I think that if they make changes, unfortunately, Ken, it's just going to be another unproven coordinator, dude, because they're going to want somebody that's willing to come in and collaborate and listen and do what they're asked to do at times. And I kind of feel like that's one of many issues at the heart of the Browns' problems. That, yes, you do need organizational collaboration. You do need the head coach and the general manager to be on the same page. But also at the same time, I feel like the head coach needs to decide who plays and is in 100% control over game day. And, that because then you really can hold their feet to the fire. I just don't feel like with the way the Browns are set up, I don't think Kevin's been able to do that. I think that there's some things that he's blamed for, like going for two. Well, no, that's what the spreadsheet told him to do. He's just following the organizational plan there. The front office hadn't given him the players to execute said plan on the spreadsheet, but you know what I mean? Like it's little things like that. And so I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if a head coaching change solves the problem.
It's an interesting point of view. I don't know. I can see where
crazy.
I can see how I see how he arrives at that relative to analytics and telling you that, because we have heard some things about that they go through and do that, but you can't coach a football team that way.
And they don't. No one coaches like that. They don't go. The spreadsheet doesn't tell anyone what to do. They give you information. And look, people can hate the result. Like the Falcons literally did the same thing the Browns did, and then ultimately were able to win the game, even though they missed both 2-point conversions and then ended up kicking a field goal. Like, this is not some weird out there thought process. And the Browns had everything to gain by playing it that way and get reps with the young players and try to prove things. Like, I'm beyond that. Here's the bottom line with the Browns. Since Jimmy Haslam has been owner, they have hired terrible coaches. And at the sort of the most attractive this job has ever been since Jimmy Haslam has been in charge of it was 2019. And they had the offensive rookie of the year shared with Saquon Barkley and Baker Mayfield, and seemingly had a lot going for them. And they hired Freddie Kitchens. And then they fired Freddie Kitchens, and then they hired Kevin Stefanski in a process that involved Josh McDaniels and some other guys. That is at the peak of the powers. The Browns are not there. So here again, you look at the track record for hires, and you can come up with all this other stuff. There isn't the excitement for like the big time coaches that people think they can suddenly talk themselves into, that they're going to suddenly be here. Since Jimmy Haslam has been the owner of this team, the three candidates that people have been most excited about for the Browns potentially hire have been Hugh Jackson, Chip Kelly, and then Josh McDaniels. All three terrible NFL coaches. So, like, this is where I get very worried when people are like, oh, no problem, you'll find somebody better. And it's like, maybe they can get better, but like, they have a guy who's been a good coach, and you could sit there and go six and whatever. And I totally understand if they fire him. I can't say much about it, but I can see where they become the Tennessee Titans really quickly, and we're hiring our own version of Brian Callahan here in a minute.
I'm with you. History has told you that they don't get the coaching search correct. I mean, Hugh Jackson and Freddie Kitchens. Anytime, and I think Freddie Kitchens, anytime somebody says what a great GM John Dorsey is, it was his idea to hire Freddie Kitchens. That might be the worst NFL head coaching hire ever.
Well, there's a lot with John Dorsey and many things he did wrong. But yeah, I mean, it was a joke. So yeah, I mean, that was when the Browns had the best situation. They had a young, talented quarterback coming off a great rookie year. Everybody's excited, and they roll out with Freddie Kitchens, and then they luck into getting Stefanski back to hire him, and that's been their best coach. So to then say we're gonna crush this thing, and what I look at from here is at least uninspiring hiring field right now. There's no like Ben Johnson is not out there, for example. There are guys who are really talented. Unfortunately, most of the guys that I think have the best credentials right now are defensive guys, And I'm not saying that's a reason not to hire them. It's just if you are somebody who's dead set on the Browns getting an offensive coach who's going to then help build the offense, I don't know that that guy's out there for you this year. 2027 would make far more sense if you're sitting there going, because then Deshaun Watson's gone. The cap situation's a little bit better. You should have decidedly more talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think the job is way more attractive in a year if you're still in this position.